What's up, everybody? My name is Justin, and welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Tears. On today's episode, I'm going to do one of those most hyped up bottles that there are. Today, we're going to try out the Benchmark Foolproof. All right, so Benchmark Foolproof coming in at 125 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, obviously from Buffalo Trace. This is, their bottom barrel line, but everybody says that the Benchmark line for the price, especially the Foolproof, is probably the best bang for your buck that you can possibly get. I have never had any Benchmark product before. The Foolproof specifically is not really around me. They only have one or two of the releases in my area, so I did order this online. They're generally $25, $30 depending on where you are. It was bundled in with another bottle, so I got free shipping, so it was still right around that price when I got it. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky in 1773. Three McAfee brothers named James, George, and Robert left Virginia westward to explore the uncharted territory that would later be known as Kentucky. Traveling by canoe at first, the company eventually followed a native trail overland that led to the Great Buffalo Crossing, where the brothers surveyed the land now home to the world's most famous award-winning distillery, Buffalo Trace. The surveyor marks left behind are known as benchmarks, and this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey honors the pioneering spirit of these early American explorers. So, we're going to pop the top, which has been open for several weeks now. I just cracked it to get that little bit of air in there. We're going to taste it, we're going to try it, and we're going to rank it on the tier system. All right, let's pop the screw top and get the nosing straight out of the bottle. Super vanilla caramel. Super vanilla caramel with some hints of wood on there. I was honestly expecting more of that fruity cherry note, but super vanilla caramel with some wood notes on there coming out of the bottle. I'm excited. I've been wanting to try this one for a while. I've been waiting to do it, and I figured today was that day. I'm close to some big announcements here. Well, really one big announcement here coming up on the channel. I'm very excited to share that with you guys soon. So do me one big favor before that announcement comes out. Hit like, hit subscribe, or follow on Rumble so that you guys do not miss out. And if you really want to help support the channel, help me do more cool things in the future, go ahead and hit that join button down below. It's $2 a month. You get a bunch of cool features with it. All right, nosing out of the glass. All right, there's more of that cherry note. It's like a sugar cherry, and that smelled hot. It's like a sugary cherry. Definitely some of that oak, that caramel, vanilla, but a lot more of the cherry came out once it came into that glass. Hints of oak, hints of cherry vanilla, or hints of caramel vanilla, and like a very sugary cherry is pretty much all the notes that I'm getting here. But hey, that's quintessential bourbon notes. It smells really good. I'm excited to try it. It's 125 proof. Cheers, everybody. Wow. I've done a few budget bottles here on the channel, like the the Evan Williams bottled and bond, and a few other things along the way that I've done. Most of them come up short, and I'm like, I wouldn't buy them. They're not worth the even daily sipper. Now, obviously, this depends on budget and all that, but it's not something I would really want or seek out to drink daily, even at that price level. One sip of this Benchmark Foolproof, this one might be the one. It's got some viscosity to it. It's got some sweetness to it. It lasts in your palate for a while. It ends with like an oaky caramel finish, which is really, really nice. I can still taste it in there. It's obviously 125 proof. It does taste like, or drink like it's 125 proof, but everything about it so far I like. So let me dissect it a little bit further and then decide where I want to put this thing on the tier system. It's going to be interesting because $25, $30 bottle, can't find it around me, but most people can find it like very, very easily. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It does have a syrupy cherry note. The nose is much more of that like granular sugar cherry note, but the palate is more of like that syrupy cherry note, which then transitions into the caramels and the vanillas and the oaky profile notes on there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's very good. I was not expecting it really to be that good because pretty much every other cheap bottle that I'd seen hyped up did not live up to the hype for me. But this one so far, I'll tell you. And generally, I think Buffalo Trace, at least some of their base stuff line, like the Eagle Rares and the regular Blantons and Buffalo Trace itself, I generally think that stuff is overhyped as a whole, and the flavor profiles don't get really good in Buffalo Trace until you get into the more premium stuff. But this one might be changing my mind. Yeah, it's nice. A syrupy cherry, which transitions into that caramel, vanilla, and oak, and that's kind of what lingers in your mouth as it sits there with a little bit of viscosity, not over viscous, but does have some viscosity to it, which is nice. I always like, the more viscosity, the better for me personally. I like that. I like the punchy proof point. I like the flavors. It's not overly complex by any means. It's very straightforward to the point. This is what I am. I am bourbon. But hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We all love bourbon, especially if you're watching this video, most likely. So the question is, where is this going to go on the tier system? Like, just the whiskey alone, take out the price of it and all that, where would I rank the whiskey based on the whiskey? That's the question. So if you guys are new here, do me one big favor, hit like and subscribe, and the tier system is going to pop up right here. This is how I rate everything on the channel. It's subjective. It's my personal opinions. Take it or leave it. There's tons of video reviews on this bottle, so if you watch a bunch of them, you may start to get a sense for my palate, what I like, what I don't like, and how that transfers over to the different reviews. But all right, one last sip, and we're going to rank this thing on the tier system today. Yeah, I mean, it's very good. It's very good. I have no complaints about it. I think this one definitely lives up to the hype of being a banger budget bottle. And quite honestly, it's really the first banger, and by budget, I don't mean like a $50 range. This is like bottom of the barrel price range at that 25 to 30. There's a bunch of good ones that you can find it up towards that $50 range, but this one is really that budget one. So for me, on the tier system today, I think I'm officially going to put it B tier. The only things that really bring it down for me are the complexity. It doesn't have those like old musty notes that I really like out of an exceptional bourbon, but what it does do, it does awesome, and it does it cheaply, and it's going on the B tier. So yeah, I can't complain. This one definitely hits it as a banger budget bourbon for me. Hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you for your next drink.